Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all our Facebook fans, YouTube, Twitterverse, Facebook. Thank you. Some of you probably waking up in the morning, or for most of you who are in the States, good afternoon or good evening. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to verify your website with Google Webmaster Tools using Google Webmaster Tools and Bing. So the advantage of having your website verified by Google and Bing is it gives them an ability to crawl your website. So Google will send a bot to your website. It'll crawl your website so that it could index it, something similar to this. Obviously, you need to verify. One of the tools that you are entitled to in Webmaster is an ability to submit a sitemap. So if you look at, for instance, I typed in Bloomberg as a search query, and this is what I got. So obviously this is a website that more than likely has been verified by Google, and they submitted a sitemap to Google, and you can tell because they even asked Google to put in a search, Bloomberg.com search box within the XML sitemap. So obviously that's all up to Google. They decide how they index your website, but if you submit a site to Google, you'll have an ability to submit a sitemap. So it'll just help. It'll help you when people are typing in for your name, especially when you're starting out. When people are typing your blog's name, there may be like a lot of other websites that come out. And if your website is search engine optimized and it's verified by Google and you're able to submit a sitemap, submitting a sitemap will be another a short tutorial that will come soon. But you'll definitely improve your search engine or your page rank, and your website is on its way to being search engine optimized. So we're using a Chrome browser, and if you have Chrome, great. If you don't, you can use Internet Explorer. Just make sure you have multiple tabs open. The tabs we have open, we're going to use this site. We're going to verify this site. So we'll leave this open. The next tab, you might want to have Webmaster Central open, Bing Dashboard open, cPanel File Manager open, and we don't really need that, but just leave that open just in case. We'll close that because anytime we need a new tab in Webmaster, in Chrome, we can just go like that. So this is assuming you're using cPanel hosting. So you got to check with your hosting company if you've never logged into your website from the back end. So make sure you have cPanel installed, because this tutorial, if you don't have cPanel, I don't know what else you're using. I mean, 90% of what's out there anyways in web hosting is cPanel. So if you have cPanel, follow along. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Webmaster Central, and we're going to add the site. We haven't added the site just yet. So if you need to have a Google account to do this. So you need to create a Google account, like how you would create a Gmail account. Just create a general Google account, and then Google Webmaster Tools, and you'll be able to create a Webmaster Central profile. So that's pretty easy to do. Make sure you have a Google account. So the next thing you want to do is add a site once you get there. So http://www.fidoforever.com. It's already there anyways, but I wanted to type it in. So just type it in how it is here. Well, this has an SSL cert on it, so make sure you type in the S there, just so it's completely identical to that. You want to hit continue. So now it's going to tell you this is the recommended method we're going to use right here eventually, but it's telling you recommended method and alternate methods. If you're having some problems in this tutorial doing it this way, just know there are alternate methods, You can use your domain name provider like One-on-One, Enum, Register.com. There's a bunch of them. One-on-One. Just choose your domain name provider, and you'd have to go in and edit your advanced DNS fields to verify that if you wanted to do it that way. So it'll tell you how to do it. It'll give you instructions depending on the domain name provider you have. Or you could do an HTML tag. HTML tag here, as it says here, you just would copy this into the head section of your website just before the body section. So you need to know a little code to do this. Now, I wouldn't recommend it if you're running on a content management system like WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, Movable Type, and Magento, content management systems like that, because those systems now and then, when they come up with a new version of their content management systems, they'll usually do, in some cases, you may have it set to force download it. So it'll take this out of the head section. So you'll constantly be needing to update this section right here. Constantly need to verifying your website. So if you have a content management system like the ones that I mentioned, don't use this method, because you'll find yourself having to go in there and redo this a lot. If you have a blog you made yourself, you probably wouldn't be watching this because you would know how to do this. But if you had like a blog, for instance, and you programmed it yourself, this is not this method right here is a method you could use. So Google Analytics, you could do it that way. You could paste some asynchronous tracking code, into your website. This also works good if you have a Google Analytics account. I never tried this method here, the Google Tags Manager. You can put a container snippet in the Tag Manager, container ID. So that's another method, but this method here is good, and it's recommended by Google because it'll upload a file onto the back end of your website. So we'll do that through cPanel. That's how you access your website, through cPanel, on the back end administrative end, the hosting end of your website. So this right here would be actually uploaded as a file into the folder of your website. So Google could crawl it and you could verify it. So this piece of code right here would be in communication with the Google bot. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do what it says. We're using Chrome, remember, so just click this, download, and you'll get this. I'm using a Mac operating system, OS X Snow Leopard, so just click that, show in Finder. You want to minimize that. You want to drag this right here, drag this right onto the desktop, okay? So boom, we'll go back to Chrome. So once we're doing that, remember we're on Google first, Webmaster Central. We're going to go into cPanel, and we're going to click Upload. We're going to choose the file. Remember, we're in File Manager, okay, in the cPanel. We're going to click this. Okay, so you'll see this little googly.html thing right here. So now it's installed. This is the HTML file that's installed in the website now. That's on the website right now. Okay, it's HTML. So if you're in your cPanel, to get to File Manager, once you're in your cPanel administrative end, your home page, just go on the top left hand. There'll be like a little search box there where you can type in File Manager, and as soon as you type in File Manager, the icon will come up, and you can just click on File Manager and then go to the file wherever your website is. If you don't have subdomains, if you have subdomains, there are extra steps. Make sure there are extra steps. Make sure you go into the folder of the subdomain. But in this case, there isn't one. Don't put the file in any of these right here. The WT content admin includes. Well, in this case, we're working with WordPress, so you don't want to do that. You don't want to put this file right here in any of these files, any of these folders. Sorry. So now we're going to verify the website because it's installed. This HTML tag is installed. Sorry, this HTML folder is installed into the back end of the website in cPanel. Let's go to Webmaster Central, see if it worked. All right. So it's now verified. So we're going to go to Webmaster Central now. We're just going to go here. Actually, you can see here the verification details. So we're good there. So we're done with Google. Now we're going to move on to Bing. Bing is very much the same way. So when you're in your Bing Webmaster in your dashboard, you can go to, oops, we got to sign back in. So we're in our dashboard now. So you want to go into the Webmaster here. You want to add a site. So you want to put in the URL of the website. Very, again, simple, similar to Google. If you have an SSL certificate installed on the site, again, make sure you have this S in here. We're not going to add a sitemap just yet, but we're going to add. So we're going to do the same thing. Bing has 3 verification methods, same thing as Google. So Bing, you can download the file, which we're going to do, the HTML file. We can also copy and paste the meta tag. We can also make some changes to the DNS record in your cPanel. But we'll do this method right here. Same thing with Google. So we'll just click that and download that. And if you're using Chrome, just click keep right here. So here's your file. Again, I'm using a Mac operating system, OS X Snow Leopard. So you can just click this right on there. And there you go. Now you have this. We're going to go back to the cPanel file manager. And remember, we're in the web root of your whatever your domain is. Web root, public HTML. Make sure that's highlighted. We're going to upload again. Click on that. Until you'll see the Bing site auth XML right here. So I'm going to go verify the website now. Click on this. And what Bing does, which is interesting, is it doesn't say, hey, site approved like Google does. It doesn't come up with any error messages, and it'll just give you information on what it has and what the search query has been in the past for this domain name. So this has been verified. This is now verified. So that's it. That's how you do it. Again, if you want your website, we're going to talk next about how to submit a XML sitemap so that your website, when you type in a search query of your website, it looks like this. That first step has been cleared once you verify your website with Google and with Bing. So we'll log out of this right here. I just want to log back into Google Webmaster tools to show you something. Just want to clear my browser cache right here. All right. So click on that. Oops. Cancel out of this. All right. This is what I wanted to show you. So right here, this is the website we just verified. This is your Webmaster Tools homepage. So this is the page I just verified. So obviously it's telling you, this little dashboard here has a bunch of tools that tell you everything you need to know about your website and how Google has crawled it in the past maybe. There's no data yet because we haven't submitted a sitemap, but it'll tell you just your search appearances, you know, and what you've been doing in your search appearances from what it's gathered off of just the domain name right here. So once we submit the sitemap, obviously this area here hasn't crawled yet because we just submitted it. But this area here will have more data, especially when you get to here, sitemap, site, crawl, and then sitemaps right here. Now we haven't submitted anything yet. Another cool thing about Google is, well, the ninja thing I wanted to show you is, you see right here we have the HTTPS www.fidoforever.com. One ninja thing too you could do is you could, without, so people search just using, when they put in their domains, fields in the domain, fidoforever.com, without the www, just so you have that covered for search engine optimization. You click verified, it did it again. So you have that right there too, just in case people search in for search engine optimization cases. In the case of search engine optimization, or to improve search engine optimization, some people will type in this instead of the www. So you just want to verify that end of the website. You don't have to. It can help in the long run, but yeah. So there you have it. You don't have to use that method. You don't have to do that. I think it'll help if you have two different versions of the web address for search engine optimization. But ultimately, we'll discuss that when we submit in the next tutorial the sitemap. So we'll just delete that for now. All right. You have a good day. If you have any other questions, you can visit us at gopryweb.com. And this video blog post would be up there for you to watch as well. We'll also post this on Facebook. Thank you.